We just arrived here at the AQ Tailored Suites. This is where we're staying for the next 2 nights. Taxi ride was great. We got to see a lot of the city, so that's cool. And yeah, we'll probably just end up dropping our bags and going and finding something for lunch because it is still really early. So we just checked in. Obviously the room's not ready yet, so we dropped our bags and we're gonna go find a place for lunch. He said a couple blocks down there's a bunch of cafes and it's called cafeterias.
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria. And other places that we can go for lunch. So we're gonna head that way, find some to eat, and then figure out what we're gonna do until our room's ready.
Also, the weather here, phenomenal. It's like 75, like the wind is blowing, it's slightly sunny. Amazing. Can't ask for more.
Empanadas, not empanadas. Yeah, we can do empanadas. I'm cool with that. All right, we went to an empanada place and we got 3 empanadas. One is onion and cheese, one's pork and like barbecue pork, and the other one is ham and cheese. And they did try to tell us that they couldn't take international credit cards, which was interesting because it did have a sign there that said that they took like Visa and Amex and stuff. And then they wanted cash, and we haven't been to the ATM yet. We just got here. So we said, do you take US dollars? And he's like, no. And then he's like, okay, well, I guess let's try your credit card. And the credit card worked fine. So maybe that's just like a heads up.
I think that there's a cost for it. I think a lot of places like to accept cash here because of like some of the rates on credit cards. So that's probably why. But anyways, we got our empanadas. Empanadas. I always call them empanadas because they're like a meat piñata, are they not? Like, I don't know. That's what I think of them as. But
whack them
with my mouth.
I think this is the onion and cheese one. Lots of cheese. If you're lactose intolerant, take your supplements.
Take your milky.
These are really good.
When we get back to the hotel this afternoon and check in, I will explain more what happened with the taxi because we pre-booked one, and hopefully this will help anybody who's coming here and planning on pre-booking a taxi because the passport line was way longer than what we expected and our plane was late. So maybe some recommendations later that might help you out if you're planning on coming. All right, I'm going to eat my empanadas. The next step for us is to go try to get some money out of an ATM. Okay, so we just picked up a little bit of cash. I think I was only able to get about $50 worth, so that was like 50,000 Argentinian pesos or Argentinian dollars. I'm not quite sure the currency denomination here, but we're gonna go try to walk to the Recoleta, which is a very famous cemetery. We're gonna try to spend like an hour or 2 there before we walk back to our hotel.
I'm trying to figure out which way my Google Maps is trying to take us. It's a little confused right now.
For sure.
So these mausoleums and pantheons are really cool. They're also a little creepy because the coffins are just kind of like in there, and sometimes there's like multiple and they're like stacked on top of each other. And all I can think is that like if there was a zombie apocalypse, like you would not want to be here because it's too easy for them to get out. Anywho, it's really cool though. I will say the price has increased a lot since pre-COVID. Pre-COVID it was like barely $10 a person, 10 USD a person, and now it's 17 USD a person, so something to keep in mind. But it's really cool for pictures and just walking around. All right, let's go.
What you looking at?
Coffins. They go down. They go down really deep, and some of them are like starting to like break up and like kind of degrade a little bit, or they've been damaged by something. But like, you can't get it with the camera. But like, if you were to look down, like it goes down. You could probably fit like 11 coffins down there, and there's a room above ground in that one for like 11 coffins. So that's crazy. Also a little unnerving.
I was gonna say, is this making you uncomfortable?
A little bit.
So this is the grave of Dr. Carlos Saavedra Lama, who is the first Nobel Peace Prize winner in Latin America. Some of these tombs are very ornate. Like,
some of them are almost, some of them are like really ornate, some of them are almost modern, some of them have had like Egyptian stuff on them, some of them are like vandalized. Like there's a huge mix here. There's even one over there that's like made of stones, like it's almost like a stone cottage. Very interesting.
I'm going to try to get more information on some of these. We do have a guide, but unfortunately the QR code on the back stopped working, so we have to look everything up on Wikipedia now. So the reason that this cemetery is so special is, one, because it was part of like an affluent neighborhood, and two, because of all of the architectural styles here. A lot of the materials used here were actually imported from Europe and other like foreign countries, because there's no way that they could get all of the marble and special materials to build some of these mausoleums. So these things are unbelievably expensive to build, because some of them were built in like the 1800s, which it was even harder to get materials from Europe, Latin America during that time period. So this is a very special thing. The Recoleta cemetery is over 50,000 square meters and over 1,000 tombs. So this is the tomb of Rufina, I can't say her last name, but she was actually buried alive, or at least that's what they believe. There's a bunch of like really fancy stories about this, but essentially what happened is she was getting ready for an evening out. She was 19 years old, and apparently she's a very popular socialite, and she just collapsed. They buried her. 3 days later, I guess they came to check on the tomb. One of the people who works here thought that somebody had attempted to rob the tomb, but that's not what happened. When he went to open the tomb to check on it, they found that her knuckles were bruised and there were scratches on the inside of the coffin, which means that they think that she had something called catalepsy, which is the classic, like, common thing that they diagnose people with who end up looking like they're dead, but they're not really dead.
Interesting.
And apparently 3 doctors diagnosed her with a heart attack, but apparently that's not what happened, and they all said that she had a heart attack and was dead. Very classic, like Edgar Allan Poe-esque story. Alright, so I think that is it for the graveyard. We are going to go try to get a bottle of water at a convenience store here, and then we are going to go to this like little art market here that's here. It's a Saturday, so that's a pretty popular thing to do here in Buenos Aires on a Saturday, is walk through some of the markets. Alright, Kayla's starting to get tired.
I didn't sleep at all on the plane.
So I think we're going to try to head back and check in right at 3 o'clock. Maybe we'll take a nap for an hour or two and then head out and try to see a tango show tonight. It's a possibility, so I don't want to promise it, but we're going to try to find one. Also,
I found one. I hope it's tonight as well. Saturday night, I feel like should be a...
Yeah, we'll try. We're gonna try and see if we can go. And then we've also got to find dinner tonight. There's actually a restaurant at the hotel that looks pretty good. There's also like a Michelin star restaurant, I think, across the street. And then there's like a sushi place down. So we'll see what Kayla's in the mood for.
Things are really open really late here. Like the sushi place is open till 1 a.m. and a lot of other places are open till like 11, midnight. It's very, so that's kind of nice because in other places sometimes they close really early, and that's always been a struggle with different schedules. So
especially if your like time zones are off.
yeah,
Because like 11 o'clock for us here would be like 9 o'clock for us back home.
yeah.
So
We'll see you later.
yep.
Back in the land of small elevators. It's like Europe. They do call it the Paris of South America. Welcome to A&Q Tailored Suites in Buenos Aires. Just checked in, we just got into our room, and very nice. I love the style, I like the wood. And so I'm gonna take you on a really quick tour. So we have a whole kind of like kitchenette area over here that has a fridge, kettle, coffee machine, toaster, microwave, and then like a sink as well. A pretty big sink actually. They give you some coffee samples. And then, oh, it's a nice like hanger for all of your stuff. And then you have a little table here and a bench as well. You also have a desk, which is wild, and a couch. I think this is probably a pull-out couch, maybe not. And then a large full-length mirror, a split unit for your AC, another little bench, but a like his and hers area to like hang your clothes. A big, I think this looks like a king-size bed with 2 bottles of water, and they also gave you some little chocolates and 2 more pieces of chocolate on the bed. And then they said that there are complimentary drinks in the fridge, which are 2 like little bottles of Coca-Cola. So all in all, really nice. It's plenty, more than we need, so it's great.
It's also a nice deck outside. We'll step out there later tonight.
All right, we took a nap. It's really hard to get up after that nap, but we're gonna try. And we're gonna go try to get some sushi at a place down the street. And then I think we might try to go catch a tango show. That's like iffy if we can find it and if it's going on. So, but let's go get some dinner.
It seems that half the road here has been shut down and is now being used as the pedestrian walkway, which is kind of cool. So a guy just kind of walked up to us. And I was trying to Kayla was trying to take pictures, I was trying to take pictures. I think that that's a lesson. Don't have 2 people taking pictures at the same time. But he was telling us about all of the amazing artists and history and artistic qualities of Buenos Aires. So yeah, it's, he was telling us that down here there's another theater that is world renowned. I'm not sure you can hear us over the music, but I just got this tortones. I think it's bread, to be honest. Is it like a garlic bread? No.
Is that what it is, a garlic bread?
No.
This is like their Broadway street in New York. There's lots of theaters, lots of plays going on, and I was like, this is really popular here, but that's why, because it's Broadway plays.
I actually think that that's what the guy was trying to explain to us earlier, that we were both like kind of struggling through our poor Spanish to get. But I think he was trying to tell us that this was a big theater district and there was like very big actresses and actors from Argentina that like started here and became very big even in the US. So I'm like catching on with context clues like 30 minutes delayed.
That experience with that guy was kind of like when we were all the way back in Germany and we were hiking and this random guy like knew we didn't speak German, but he was like still just having a whole conversation about his life with us and was so worried about my shoes and everything, so it was just kind of like reminiscent of that time. But he was a funny dude, so.
Alright, we're walking back to our hotel from the little like night street. I don't know, what would you call that?
I'll put the name of the street down below. I highly recommend that you go see it because there's so much culture on that street, even if you're just walking around. But I recommend you like go get dinner. I don't know if it's expensive or not, but there were a lot of locals there getting dinner, so that means that we should also get dinner there, right?
Yeah. So anyways, I think that's gonna be it for this vlog. So as always, if you want to see more of our stuff, we're going to be going to Patagonia next. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and you'll get to see those videos in the future.